Good evening, Albert JTV community on a late night Sunday night match reaction time. But before we get into it, we have a new channel intro for the 25-26 season from my brother from another mother. Hashtag Sam Hart. Thank you very, very much. We'll be back shortly. And there you have it, people. New intro into Albert JTV. Big up, like I said, my brother from another mother. Hashtag Sam Hart. People, football community, content creators, if you wish to seek out a channel intro or any other digital content material, please check out my guy, man. I have to give Sam a big plug, man. There's his Instagram details and also his formerly Twitter account details on the screen. Audio listeners, you just have to imagine what Sam's details are, but I'll read them out. Instagram, lowercase s24 media _ and his X account is at capital S24 media _ So people, if you do want some amazing channel intros and like I said, other digital content material, please do not hesitate to contact Sam. Sam does some great work behind the scenes for Lee Judges TV and for the 12 Man podcast, and I love him to pieces. So Sam, thank you very much, brother, and keep up your amazing work that you do. And your amazing photography as well, see? Give you a plug for that as well. But Sam, big up for the intro, man. Loved it when you did it for me. This is the third installment of Albert JTV tonight on your screen. So big up Dan Potts 12 Man podcast. Allow me to do the live watch along on his channel. It also went live on my channel, and also my other brother from another mother, another Dan United, on his channel as well. Great watch along to do with him, and I think I needed him, to be honest, after watching that game anyway. And also big up to Sophie Nicolau, Super Queen Nicolau. Went on to the hybrid squad afterwards to chew the fats off that result, and looking forward to the upcoming games against Leeds United, and of course a nice little away trip to the northwest of England against the champions in Liverpool. So I think these first 6 games of the season are going to be pivotal. I said out of a possible 18 points, I think minimum Arsenal to get is 14. You see the way Man City and Liverpool started the respective seasons on fire. And you know what? It was not a pretty watch today or tonight, wherever you are in the world, but clean sheet, 3 points, set piece kings again. I think what's that? Is that 31 goals from corners or 32 goals from corners, is it? Since the start of the 23-24 season. So Arsenal, that is a key strength in their play. But let me come to the chat quickly. Let me see who's there. From here to there. Love, brother. Cheers, Albert. Tough watch. Yeah, it wasn't an easy watch, especially to watch along to that. But 3 points at Old Trafford is always a good day. Yeah, I can't disagree with that. Very nice, slick intro indeed. Yep, listen, here to there. Big up to Sam, man. Love Sam. Sam does some great work, like I said, for Lee Judges TV and 12 Man podcast with the intros and putting the videos together. All Sam's handiwork, man. All his handiwork. And he gave it to me for a good price, so I've got to thank him for that. AFC always, Albert, big up. That was a difficult watch to watch. Absolutely dreadful for Arsenal. Martinelli was born on the border to sell this scrub now. Strong words. Strong words. Stoke City set pieces FC. Heath, big up to you, brother. Evening to you, man. Here to there. Sleeper stroke Gabriel is the get out of jail card. Will be in every game, but we will score enough to turn. Will we score enough to turn draws into 3 points? That's the key thing, man. We looked knackered and heavy legged. We lost our shape. We were all over the place. Big up to you guys for your chats already, man. Because it's like I said, I'm UK time, 8:45 p.m. On a Sunday, the 17th of August. So people, pop any questions you got in there, and I will try and style them and read them out while doing the stream. It's not going to be a long one because I'm tired, man. Long day. But let me get the team lineups quickly if I've still got them on the screen. Where they gone? I can't see it anywhere. Where's it gone? So yeah, we looked at the team lineups today. I was watching the Chelsea versus Crystal Palace game, which was another painful reminder of of a certain player that played today for Crystal Palace. But yeah, team lineups. I saw the rumblings of some of the Arsenal fans. When Sophie asked me my team lineup, I went with Rare in goal, Timber at right back, Gabriel and Saliba centre backs, Miles Lewis-Skelett left back, Rice, Zubimendi, Erdegaard. I said Martinelli would start and he did. Gyökeres would start. I said he wouldn't. He did. And Saka started on the right. So I know some people were campaigning for Madueke to start. He might have got a nod ahead of Martinelli. But like I've mentioned before, Mikel does value the importance of work off the ball. And that's why you saw the team lineup you saw. So I don't know about you. And I'm going to cut straight to it because, like I said, I don't want to do a long stream. The first 20, 25 minutes was a hard watch, man. I actually expected us, Arsenal, even though it's away from home and it's Old Trafford and our record's not great there, I expect us to dominate a lot more of the ball than we did. Guys, let me know if you can hear me okay as well. I expect us to dominate a lot more of the ball than we did. Absolutely. And that wasn't the case at all. United had large chunks of possession in the first half, and actually they looked better. Mbeumo's a good signing. He's paid his dues in the Premier League. He's been brilliant. He was brilliant for Brentford. He's going to give them strength and pace and directness. Cunha's going to be a good signing for them. And obviously, I did watch along on Potsy's channel with my Man United brother, and he was furious that Sesko wasn't starting. And watching that first half, I could see why, because United made some good opportunities in the final third, but it was just that final pass and that missing piece in the middle, and that would have been Benjamin Sesko, and he didn't start. The midfield could be got at 100% with Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes in there. But if I'm talking from an Arsenal point of view, I said the famous 3 words last season on my channel. Let me turn on the light, people. This is bright, man. That's better. Copy, paste, repeat with Arsenal. People might just say, you know what, first Premier League game back. We had the preseason games before. Don't panic. But I saw a lot of the same stuff I saw last season. And actually, for the first 20, 25 minutes, I don't know what you guys thought in the chat, but I thought Arsenal defensively were very shaky. I mean, David Raya had that moment in the first half where he's just dithering on the ball. And I thought Arsenal really shaky Saliba in that first half. Wow. And from an offensive point of view, Arsenal were really bad. Really bad. You can talk about pre-season and first game of the season as much as you want, because I saw a lot of that passage of play with Arsenal last season, just so sloppy. And again, decision making in the final third, they was all culpable. Erdegaard, Saka, Zubimendi. He got a welcome to the Premier League today, 100%. Martinelli. It wasn't great, and I think this was the fear for Arsenal fans. Definitely for me, because you guys know the striker that I wanted at Arsenal, and that was Victor Gyökeres. And you know, the Queen Nicolaus, Sophie from Highbury, said it. With Gyökeres, you need to feed him. Give the man some food. And we didn't give him anything. He didn't have a snack, a crumb. We created nothing. He worked hard, Gyökeres. Don't get me wrong, he'll get better in terms of the fitness and stronger and more powerful, but we didn't create anything in that first half, and he didn't get any chance. He didn't. Either the balls weren't going into the box quick enough, which is the same problem that Arsenal have had. And despite what you may think about Victor Gyökeres's prowess in terms of how good he is in the air, you've got to get the ball in quicker. You've got to move it quicker. I've criticised Arsenal for a couple of years now. We don't get runners in behind. We don't move the ball quick enough. We were sloppy in play, and it showed in the first 20, 25 minutes. And I don't know what happened, but it got to a point where it was very open in that first half after about, I'd say, 25, 30-minute mark. And like I said, if United had a bit more of a better cutting edge and actually maybe started Sesko, they probably could have gone in at halftime. They probably could have gone into the game getting ahead with a few chances. They hit the post with Dorgu, which was a great strike, and Raya had no chance. He's well beaten. But like I said, I saw a lot of the same patterns. Because I missed a lot of the preseason games, but I saw the last one against Bilbao, and it was a bit better. But what people were telling me from the sort of the preseason games, they saw much of a like of last season. Let me come to chat quickly because you guys are popping off in there. Let me come back again. Let me see. Where am I again? Let me come back. I'm going to start that question. FC always. Is a familiar structural flaw Calafiore inverting? I didn't see him starting today, but then again, it's been spoken about in terms of, despite Lewis Skelly being brilliant and having a breakout season last season, one, he's not a left back, but defensively he's actually quite good in that role. And Calafiore is fit and of his physicality, and he's very good going forward. So I can understand why he did start him. Space for Mbeumo switch they kept exploiting. Yeah, that ball was on for Mbeumo all the time. They hit that switch play very, very well, and you've got the right player in order to sort of stretch teams with Brian Mbeumo. We didn't do that enough. We didn't switch play quick enough. We didn't hit the diagonals quick enough either. Yeah, tactics. Love, bro. Thank you, man. People, like I said, subscribe to the channel and smash the like button. And audio listeners, you will never be forgotten on Apple and Spotify. You can hear this back on the rerun. Albert, last time Arsenal scored 3 goals at Old Trafford was 1970, long time ago. Why did we not test De Ligt and play ball behind Victor? Everyone knows De Ligt struggles with pace and space behind. There you go. And not getting the support quick enough to him as well. The midfield overrun our midfield from the first whistle. Yes, there, agreed, Albert. Honestly, there were so many one-on-one situations. We rely on individual quality and athleticism. Our centre-backs to clean up. It's not tactical genius from Mikel Arteta. We had a point, I don't even remember it. There's a bit in the first half where we had the ball and we were attacking United's end in the first half. And Odegaard had the ball and he gave a sloppy kind of passage of play. And they broke straight away, like the red arrows. It was mad. Let me answer. I'll answer that question now, actually. Albert, does it seem to you that our players don't look fit? You know, anyways, you're always gonna kind of get that the first sort of pre-season games. I think what probably didn't help with Arsenal, I don't know what you guys feel in the chat when you listen to this and watch it back. I think the Liverpool Bournemouth game, by the way, was brilliant. I'm glad they managed to catch the guy that made the racist comments to Antoine Semenyo. What a performance, by the way, when that happened to you on the pitch. Brilliant. But yeah, great game. Liverpool, top end of the pitch, killers. Man City, ruthless. Reinders, Ryan Cherky, Marmoush, obviously they got in January last season, cushion off the centre back. City have not messed around, man. They haven't messed around. So I think when you get AFC always, I'd say the first couple of months into the season, when you get really, really set, that's when you kind of, your preseason will come into the forefront. But we got some tough fixtures for opening fixtures, man. Big time. Yeah, he was. I felt for him. But you know what it was, Heath? I expected what I saw. I didn't expect him to come and work miracles and wave a wand and bang in a couple. I was desperate for him to score today at Old Trafford. It would have been massive for him. And 100% should start against Leeds as well. 100%. Get the. It'd be a different fixture. 100%. Even Emerson regular. We need to sign another creative midfielder and left wing in the window. AFC always don't even get me started about um creative players. Otherwise, I'm gonna really go mad. People know my thoughts about what we needed to do. Bill underscore 74. Big up to you, man. Big up Albert. Albert needs to change the way Erdegaard played, as he needs to be more in the final third to be Victor. He's too deep every time, and that's what really annoys me. He picks up the ball too deep. The midfield player should be roasting him and telling him, get out of this area. Let us play. Get further 10 yards up the pitch and adopt a left 8 role or move a bit more centrally. But I think it comes from the manager, Bill. Why we're so heavily reliant on moving down one side of the pitch from an attacking point of view. You become way too predictable. I understand why Ben White started, because he's got a good relationship with Bukayo Saka. Didn't think it was his finest today. Let me touch on this now because I don't want to spend time on it. AFC always people in the chat. I was having a conversation with my Man United brother, and I said to him with Arsenal 3 words: creativity, creativity, creativity. Even with Martin Odegaard in the side last season, you could even maybe argue the season before, we still struggle to create. Now I'll put it this way. I'm not gonna say I've had private conversations with people that I get on really well with when I talk about the creative side of it and the talk of Iberi Eze, because I spoke about this guy when he's at QPR, and big fan of his. I call him the Iberi Eze, the Roger Federer football. He's a beautiful player to watch. He's a player that we don't have at Arsenal. But if you listen to whatever reports you listen to, blocking pathways, and some people don't think AFC always, you ask the question, you put it in the statement. There's some sections of our fan base said that we don't need an Eze type. He said that. Said, look, we're going to be reliant on a 15-year-old boy and a 17-year-old, 18-year-old young man in Ethan Nwaneri. We're trying to go for a league title here. You buy the best in class. You let people earn their right to be in the side. I mentioned it before. You look at the example of Phil Foden at Manchester City. People were crying out for him to be in the side. No. Pep said no. He's not ready. He has to earn his right. But the Eze thing, I don't want to talk about it. It actually makes me quite angry when I just don't need to see him now. It's nothing against him. Arsenal had the opportunity to get this guy. And for whatever reason, whatever source you want to believe, whatever podcast you want to believe, Arsenal, if they really want a player, if Mikel really wants a player, they'll get him. For me, I would argue someone like Eze should have come in before Gyökeres and Madueke. And listen to this very, very carefully. When you listen to most of the journos, when they're reporting about transfers, one of the key things they said was, when we're going for the likes of Gyökeres and Madueke, these deals do not affect other potential deals of incomings. So then you have to ask yourself, did Arsenal really, really want him? I think Spurs, the reason why they went for Morgan Gibbs-White was because I think they probably personally felt that Eze's heart was set on Arsenal. But obviously that fell through with Morgan Gibbs-White. He signed the contract to Nottingham Forest. And then obviously James Maddison goes down injured. And they turn their attention to Eze. Whether they thought they could generally really get him is another thing. But Arsenal, I said it, if Arsenal are going to bring in someone like Gyökeres, who I wanted since December 2023, you have to bring in Eze. You have to bring in Eze. He can break those lines. He can get the likes of Big Victor in game more. But somewhere along the lines, Arsenal haven't deemed fit to try and get him and bring him to Arsenal. And I said, I think if Arsenal don't get Eze, I said this to big up Sophie, Nicolau and Kenny Ken. If Arsenal don't go and get Eze and my boys in my group chat, it's a grand failure. People will say, oh, where do you play him? It's not my decision. I'm not the manager. But what I do know is Eze would walk into the Arsenal side. He would walk in. It's not even debatable for me. That's my opinion. But I don't want to say more because the more I talk about it, I'm just gonna annoy myself, man, to be honest with you, man. Oh, AFC always, man. We get told as Arsenal fans about marketing opportunities. Eze was a marketing opportunity and twice on Sundays. And I think what makes it worse, there's two things for me. Arsenal's inability to sell players, but that's a long going feature. And for this guy, for it to turn out the way it's going to turn out potentially with him going to Tottenham is a grand failure on Arsenal's part. Sorry. That's just my opinion. Um, I will say Odegaard finally looks fit again after his ankle issues all last year. What I want Martin Odegaard to do more than anything is to release the ball quicker. Mendy does it and will do it. We need to see the more the same more as a same with Martin Odegaard as well. Yeah, you have to hit the ground running. Arsenal do. Like I said, 14 points out of 18 is a minimum they need from the first six, as far as I'm concerned. Um, right. Question for as always. Q, what your thoughts on Odegaard saying finishing second is not a failure? That's a disgrace if George Graham was a manager. He would have been shoved out the door for that comment. This is my thing with the Martin Odegaard thing quickly before I come back to the game. There's not much to say about the game because it was not great to do a watch along for and to talk about. And if it wasn't for David Raya, we might have lost that game or got a point. The Martin Odegaard comments, I listened to it and I listened to it again. And I didn't want to kind of see whether it had been taken out of context or things have been said or there's meaning to it. But I listened to it and he said what he said. He tried to kind of say, oh, they don't want to kind of, in his own words, I'm not going to paraphrase it, Seca's not kind of good. And Roman Kemp didn't really ask him the question in the way that he's trying to catch him out or for him to slip up. I just don't understand why he would have said that. That's not a language thing. That's just, I don't know why you would say second is not a failure. That's a strange thing to say. Very strange. He could have turned around and he could have said that in so many different ways. He could have just said, you know what, we're not happy with second. We want to win trophies. Just say that. That's it. You don't need to say anything else. But to say that second is not a failure, I don't really think you can dress that up, to be honest with you. He said what he said. I don't think it's a smart thing to say, personally. I'm going to come back to... Let me answer the star question now, actually. Question, it will be the signing of the season for me, Reinders Baller. You know what, AFC always, I'm going to go for an outside bet. And obviously, in your answer, you've kind of said, you said Reinders. I'm gonna be greedy and pick two, but the main one I'm gonna go for as an outsider, I'm gonna go for James McAtee at Nottingham Forest. I think he's a really, really good player, man. What I saw at the end of last season and what I saw in the Euros and the under-21s when England won, I think it's a brilliant signing by Nottingham Forest, and to get Amari Hutchinson as well. And there's talk of Douglas Luiz on loan as well. They've kept Morgan Gibbs-White. They've still got Chris Wood there, and they've still got Callum Hudson-Odoi. So they're good to go, man. They're really good to go. Yeah, the Tony Adams thing. I don't agree with him saying about we could never win anything under. But it's amazing that I see a lot more pushback for Tony Adams and Thierry Henry than more. I see more pushback for them and their opinions about Arsenal than they do about the current players or the manager. We live in mad times, man. We live in mad times. Mad times. But yeah, the game was the second half, I don't think was much better. I thought it was better defensively. Put bodies on the line, blocks Gabriel and Saliba. But offensively, it was not great. It wasn't great at all. Our shooting, our free kicks into the box. Like I said, we got gifted a goal in the first half of terrible goalkeeping. Could you imagine? Ruben Amorim said that Andre Onana, who wasn't injured, he was dropped, and the goal is it Bayender, is it? Had a good pre-season. Wow, and he chucked in that howler today. That was dreadful, absolutely dreadful goalkeeping. But listen, that's another set piece goal, man. 31 goals, is it? Mad. But let's be honest, man. The performances. It's the first game of the season, I get it. And a clean sheet away from home. I've actually gone for David Raya to be Golden Glove again. But he needs to fix up on them little lapses, though. That's not good. But Arsenal have to play better because We've got to go Newcastle away, even with Isak going on strike or whatever the hell he's doing. Nottingham Forest at home won't be easy. Leeds' his first um, away game back in the Premier League, and they play tonight. Is it? They got Everton on Monday Night Football, and I'm not sure of Arsenal. Playing style wise, guys. I'm going to be honest because it's down to one thing and one thing only: the manager. Is he tactically flexible enough? Has he got rid of the mental scars from 2 years ago? I don't think he has. Hence the reason we're playing while we're playing. He's more concerned of the work off the ball, and offensively, it doesn't look great. It looks disjointed. People talk about the left-hand side. It's not just that. It's how are we going to get the ball quicker to Victor Gyökeres? I want us to go to play Leeds next week. Someone's mentioned it in the chat. Victor, go and feed the guy. Give him some food. See this man banging a couple of goals, man. Get off the mark quickly because it will help. We've had some club legends play for Arsenal who struggled when they first came over. But listen, I've got faith in Big Victor, man. As long as the players try and help him out and get balls into the box a lot more earlier and get the ball and get runners going behind him, man. That's the main thing. People, we're 31 minutes in. I think David Raya got player of the match, didn't he? Or man of the match. And yeah, you raise a good point because AFC always. I'm not a medical expert at Arsenal, but they have people and specialists that look into these things in terms of players being overplayed. And Mikel did that. He ran a lot of players into the ground. He did. That was him. That was on him. Havertz, Saka, prime examples. That's on him. I want to see better management of the squad. And a bit more surprising the subs. It's very like for like. I knew Gyökeres would come off for 60 minutes. I knew Havertz would come on. I knew Martinelli would come off. I knew Madueke would come on. Why didn't you start with Madueke and then bring on Martinelli? But I knew he wasn't going to do that at Old Trafford. There's no chance he was going to do that. Absolutely none. Mikel is on his last chance saloon, man. There's no more excuses. There's none. Nothing to do with his first job anymore. He's been backed handsomely in terms of players coming in. This is his side. They have to play better. He's more. I mean, he played under Arsene Wenger and David Moyes, but he's more like David Moyes in terms of management. It's madness. Yes. So if you've got the blue anchor as well, man, you're a bot. Big up to Sophie Nicolau, people. Subscribe to the Hybrid Squad if you haven't. Sophie is on Hybrid Squad. Sophie, whatever way you want to phrase it, on the road to 20k subscribers. We're going to get there, man. Sophie, 100%. Love you to pieces. Saka never going to be the same player for that injury. Look at Mark Lowen. Time will tell. Time will tell. Time will definitely tell. It's a serious injury, man. If it's down to me, when he got injured, I wouldn't even have brought him back towards the back end of last season. That's how much you got to protect him in Cotton Wool. What's James Ollie saying? James Ollie wrote in ESPN that Arteta increased the intensity of the in-season training last year. He literally ran the squad into the ground. We just touched on it, man. So he has got no excuses to rotate this squad a bit better. And if we're led to believe by potentially signing Eze, which I don't believe, by the way, blocking pathways is nonsense, then Mikel, the baton is over to you to play Ethan Nwaneri more when your captain is not being effective. I'm not talking about today. Let me be clear. I'm not talking about United away. I'm talking about in the last couple of seasons. Or are you going to put the emphasis on Max Dowman? This is madness from Arsenal Football Club. Like I say, get the best in class. I'm not going to lie. It's going to pain me to see someone like Aberi Eze, who we had when he was a kid. There was that viral video that went down quite a while ago, how much he was so desperately upset being let go by Arsenal. And I think Arsenal was his preferred choice. But if your preferred choice is not giving you the kind of energy or whatever personal discussions you might have had with Mikel or To me, it really irks me that the Eze thing. It really, really does. Uh, yeah, let me see. Come to chat quick. I'm gonna log off in a minute. Watching Arsenal is like the final moments of Titanic because the water laps around the deck. The only lifeboat left is Saka Arteta now. They won't do that. And mark my words, at FC always, and people in the chat, and when you listen to this back, I think Berta coming in is quite significant. I'm going to tell you why. He's a very experienced campaigner in his role as sporting director, Andrea Berta. The fact that we signed Gyökeres when that's not who Mikel Arteta wanted is massive. You know the owners won't have it. I don't think they've got it in them to pull the trigger on Mikel because they would have done it already. I think Mikel's very, very lucky in the sense that if he had a Marinakis as a boss, I don't think he'd be here anymore, to be honest with you. Or you Roman Abramovich back in there, or maybe a Todd Bowley. But he's in a very, very fortunate position, Mikel, to be at a club the size of Arsenal and going into what he's seventh year and have one FA Cup to you. We can talk about progression until we're blue in the face. We need to turn that into success. And the pressure's on massively. You even hear it in some of the stuff he says, Mikel, in post match. I think to myself, I want to reach for the screen and sometimes just throttle him. Like, what are you talking about? It's like when he came out with the quote when he said this week, was it Arsenal having the most points gathered over 3 seasons and, digging and finding gold and you got to dig, 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 dig. Sometimes I think less is more. Just don't say anything. Just don't say anything. Because people are not going to Google in the history of time and say, oh, look at that Arsenal signed under Mikel for 2.5, 3 seasons who amassed the most points, but didn't win anything. People are not going to look out for that. So when Mikel says that, sometimes to me, I can only speak for myself. It kind of goes in over my head. Yeah, result was big. We needed to win, particularly after the back of what we saw with Man City and Liverpool as well. Pain to say, but what a scissor, what a goal by Richarlison for Spurs. Jesus Christ. Tom and Frank will get them playing better, 100%. But people, I'm gonna shoot and log out. I want to big up to the people in the chat for joining me. If you haven't got me on Instagram or X, the details are down below as you're watching it on YouTube and Facebook. And if you don't know what to do by now, subscribe to Albert JTV, smash the likes. But for little video purpose, if you don't know what to do by now, this is what you should do. And there you have it, people. Funky surround music to subscribe to Albert JTV. So get your virtual waves and goodbyes in. It's been a long day. Live watch along on the 12-man podcast and Albert JTV. Joined the hybrid squad for post-match and doing my stream on my channel for 39 minutes in. Definitely not going to be an hour show tonight, man. Not on a Sunday night. But big up to the people in chat. Heath, AFC always. Love to you guys, man. Keep supporting the channel. You'll see me here, there, and everywhere. But yes, look out for me on the social to see what I will post next. I can't wait for the transfer window to be done. I will be having back the brilliant Tom White back on here when the transfer window's all done. Just needs to sort out some dates and get him on and hear his northeast dulcet tones. But yeah, it would be great to get him back on to do sort of a transfer recap. Not just of Arsenal, but sort of around the Premier League as well. So look, very happy to get him back on. But yeah, people, we move. We've got Leeds United next. Didn't get a ticket for that one. I didn't get a ticket for that. I forgot to apply in the ballot. Can you imagine? I didn't get one for Nottingham Forest. Didn't get one for Man City. But I'll try and be look out for the one on Forest. Ticket exchange might save me. Who knows? But people in the chat, love to you, man. Let me come to you before we go. Heath, FC always. He was in a here to there. Hybrid squad, Sophie, Nicola, love you, man. you Greek goddess. But yeah, people, like I said, subscribe to Albert JTV, all their listeners. I will put this out definitely tomorrow, man. I don't think I won't do it tonight. Jesus. I might do it tonight, but I'll put it out on my socials tomorrow because I'm absolutely knackered and I'm hungry. And people, get your virtual waves and goodbyes in because Albert JTV is logging out. Love to you all, people. I need to go and lay down in the dark room because I am absolutely bushed and knackered. But that is Albert JTV over and out for the match reaction. Manchester United nil, Arsenal 1. As the famous George Graham teams they used to say about us, 1-0 to the Arsenal. Over and out, people. Good night. God bless. See you soon.